Greetings, family. I'm trying to make sure this is right. My tripod is just like, you know what? We're going to lean like this. But yes, it's going down in Chinatown and Tay-Tay's town. So this is what Saturday nights be like. Okay, so now I know it's crooked, right? Okay, so let me see. Let me see. Yes, my TV is on that. And I've talked about it multiple times, but since it showed, let me talk about it again. It's going to stay on these boxes. Well, honestly, these boxes are about to, I have to do some things, so those boxes are about to come off. So I'm going to have to do something with this TV, but I'm just mad that I purchased it and it can't go on the wall. So I'm very upset about that. So I'm just like, well, I'm being a rebel. I'm not going to go and buy a new TV. I'm not happy about it. I'm just not, I don't like to spend money. I hope you all can hear me, so let me just double check. Let me just double check. Let me just double check. Um, Make sure you all can hear me. Yes, I hear the fan going. Yes, I hear the fan going. Yes, I hear the I hear my echo. So I'm sitting here, I'm watching this, and I'm like, look, I told you all I have to do my hair. This is what my Saturday nights be like sometime. When I have to when I have to work on this, it takes time. And I'm going to do my own hair because when I let other people do my hair, what happens? My hair starts to come out. So I'm doing myself. And we're going to watch some true crime. Now, I'm just baffled at this case. You see how far I've gotten throughout the day? Now, what she's done is she started at um, day one, and taking it through. Now we're getting to the technical part. And this is why I'm like, um, even when it comes to the Nancy Guthrie case, right? Let me put my mic in because I know it's probably a lot of background noise. Even in the Nancy Guthrie case, I feel like this is. They're working on what? DNA now, right? And even in a Nancy Guthrie case, they're working on DNA now. I was looking at this and I'm like, okay, this is where I want to go live because this part is interesting when it comes to the DNA and the technical side of these cases. But yeah, Tay has a boring life. I go and I do things here and there. I go on vacation. But when I'm home, I have work to do. I got a job to do. I got work. Y'all know the song. Okay.
From that day, days before, or even earlier. She also said, quote, "It is an estimate. It is not an exact, precise calculation, but it is a very close, rough estimate of how much total human DNA is present in that sample and how much male DNA is present as well." So overall, the takeaway from her testimony was that there was male DNA present and biological evidence on multiple items, but the defense still had room to argue about when it got there and what exactly it came from. After she finished, court wrapped up for the day. Day 7 testimony picked back up. And day 7, and this part of the trial really leaned into the forensic side of things. It was a lot of lab work, a lot of technical explanations, but all of it tied back to figuring out what exactly happened to Athena. And then later in the day, we got to hear from Athena's own mother, which was absolutely heartbreaking. But we'll get there. First up was Erica Renaga, a forensic scientist with the Texas Department of Public Safety Crime Lab in Garland. She walked the jury through how they handled and tested samples connected to Tanner Horner.
Yes, sorry. I watched TV with the closed caption.
She also
I'm one of those people.
vaginal swabs that were taken from Athena. Her testimony was pretty straightforward, mostly focused on the process and making it clear how the samples were collected and analyzed step by step.
Okay, so let me just update anyone that has come in on what I'm watching. This is a video in regards to the Tanner, the FedEx guy, right? Everybody probably know it as the FedEx guy that unalived the 7-year-old girl, right? So I'm finishing watching this while I'm doing my hair. But the DNA part of it, the technical part of it, it intrigues me. I never knew how much science would intrigue me. Okay, so I think I want to push this up. I never knew how much science would intrigue me. So, and understanding that portion of it, right? Because people can say, oh, they did this, they did that. But if they can't prove it, DNA really solidifies things, right? So I'm twisting my hair, and then I will twist the not the conditioner, the extensions in it as well. Greetings, Lisa Cap, New Jersey. What up? This is what Saturday nights be like sometimes. Following some true crime while doing my hair. Yep. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. This is the technical portion of the cases when it comes to DNA. And like I said, that is a big part of what's happening now with in the Nancy Guthrie case, right? They took the DNA, they sent it to the FBI, blah, 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 right? Okay, so let's listen to the DNA evidence in regards to the FedEx driver. His name is Tanner Horner, and he unalived her name is Athena Strand.
Then the prosecution brought in Amber Moss, who supervises the DNA section at that same DPS lab. She zoomed out a bit and explained the different types of DNA testing that were done in this case. She talked about male-specific and female-specific testing and how those tests help separate and identify whose DNA is present in different samples. She also explained where the evidence goes next after each stage of testing, kind of giving the jury a roadmap of how everything moves through the lab. And after that, Elizabeth Seastrunk took the stand. Her role was very hands-on. She described physically cutting pieces from the evidence, like swabs and other collected items, and placing them into labeled tubes so they could be sent off for further testing. And next was Ruby Kelly, another forensic scientist in the DNA section. Her testimony got more detailed and tied specific items to the testing. She explained that she performed autosomal STR testing, which is basically the standard method used to build a DNA profile and identify each person. She ran that testing on a long list of items, including a polo shirt, a sweatshirt, jeans, underwear, socks, blue jeans, bungee cords, and multiple areas from the FedEx truck. She also performed YSTR testing.
Go on, girls. These girls in science.
That testing was done on the vaginal, anal, and oral swabs from Athena's kit, along with a known sample from Tanner. Then things shifted a bit from the lab to technology. James Becker, who is the vice president of product at Velociter Solutions, testified next. Becker explained that his company makes the software used in FedEx delivery vehicles, including trucks operated by
Y'all, this is where it gets good, right? I was just at the technical the technical portion of it, and I'm like, wait, this dude Tanner is a problem. I I really appreciate this video. It's long, but it breaks down so much, and each day and how they played. I think Court TV showed the footage, but how they played his his phone calls. And this dude worried about himself. He worried about, oh, breaking down. I'm never going to see my child again. And I was like, wow, he is really selfish. And it's okay. So let's get into the technical portion of this.
contractors like the one Tanner worked for. He told the jury that the cameras automatically.
Yeah. So he worked for FedEx, but he worked for FedEx. He worked for a contractor of FedEx. So I don't know how that works, but he worked for a contractor of FedEx.
And oral swabs from Athena's hip, along with a known sample from Tanner. Then things shifted a bit from the lab to technology. James Becker, who is the vice president of product at Velociter Solutions, testified next. Becker explained that his company makes the software used in FedEx delivery vehicles, including trucks operated by subcontractors like the one Tanner worked for. He told the jury that the cameras automatically start recording as soon as the vehicle is turned on. They captured both forward-facing video and video aimed at the driver. On top of that, the system connects to GPS and cellular networks, so it tracks location in real time. When Becker was asked about the day Athena was taken, he described how everything unfolded from his side. He said, I was in a meeting, and our customer support manager came into the meeting and asked for my assistance because they had a law enforcement call and they were not sure how to handle it.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine working customer service and you have FBI on the line and they're like, yes, so we need to speak to someone in charge in regards to there is footage of an abduction or a kidnapping. Like, what the hell? I was like, oh my God. Run home and tell family, yo, I was just involved in this. No.
I went to our customer support center to the agent that was taking a phone call.
Sorry, that wasn't, I was laughing about the situation of me running home and running my mouth to tell my family that, you know, I got this phone call. I'm not laughing at the situation because this is absolutely horrible. And his mother, he was talking to his mother on the phone and, you know, he's telling her, contact this person, contact that person. They won't let me get my phone. And so I don't have any of these numbers. If I had my phone, I would call them myself. I said, this ninja. And the mother's, he's like, you got to get on Facebook. And the mother's like, I don't. He was like, no, you don't understand. You don't get it. And the mother was like, no, I get it. You don't get it. I'm getting all this hate. And he says, why? Why are you getting hate? You shouldn't be getting hate. I said, this dude, yo, first of all, let me just say this. I think I said this earlier, but he's going to unalive himself. This video played, oh well, no, she read the letters. Let me be clear about this. She read the letters that he wrote to the police, to his family. No. To the police, to law enforcement, and to Athena's family. This ninja, I'm sorry. He knows what he's done, and he knows that he is not going to last. I don't want to say he's not going to last in prison, but I don't. Well, thank you, Mike. Straight up, I appreciate you. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to make this better. Okay. Wait, there we go. Come down some. Is this going to be? It got the gangster lean, y'all. It has the gangster lean. But when I stop being angry about my TV not being able to go on the wall, then I'll go ahead and buy another TV and do what I got to do. I was just mad that when I purchased this at an estate sale, that I thought it was, who would have thought, you just want to make sure that the TV works. You're like, okay, the TV works, this, that, and third. Who in the hell would have thought that the TV, one of the holes in the back is stripped and it can't go on the wall? I'm like, just like when I moved into this house, they were like, the windows don't open. I'm like, wait, what? Who would know that they have to ask, well, why don't the windows open? I watched you the whole time at Nancy's and I thought you were so sincere and your beauty is mesmerizing. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know, sometimes we don't feel our best, but then people like you come and give us compliments and, thank you. I appreciate that. I hope and pray that Nancy is found soon, that the family can put her remains to rest, or if she's still alive. It's just, you just like watching this and knowing about what happened to Nancy and so many other horrible things that has happened to people. It's just like, this world is jacked up. So we do have to find our happiness and our peace when we can, right? But okay, so I'm doing this while I'm doing my hair. I'm listening to this while I'm doing my hair. But this dude, he's a problem. I don't know what's gonna happen as far as like what the verdict is gonna be, but this dude is a problem. And I didn't want to play it on here, but just before this, let me see if I could just play bits and pieces of it. Just before this part, wait.
Parents come out to get it.
I think this was day 6.
During a previous delivery, he had
Come on,
accidentally
hold on.
ruined the child's Christmas.
I'm trying to pause. There we go. I went back too far, but what's crazy is um he was at, a constable lives down the street from where Athena lived. He delivered the day before, Tanner delivered a package to said constable. The constable to the house, the constable's family home. The constable says that he has 2 children. The constable himself has 2 children. I think I'm going to enjoy locking my hair up. I think I really am going to enjoy it. Sure, you can. So, so the constable said he delivered a package to the family. As in fact, his 10-year-old, his oldest daughter, he has a 10-year-old and he has a 7-year-old. The 10-year-old is the one that alerted the family that they had a package. And he said that, but the only difference is the husband and the wife, the parents came out and got that package. Now, if this dude was just out there fishing, right? He was just looking for whatever he can get. That shows that he has no impulse control and he has a serious problem. He needs to be locked up, right? So the constable, okay, so that happened the day before. Now we're going to hear there on day 6, there was testimony of a girl that had an inappropriate relationship with Tanner. Tanner knew her age. They talked about text messages. Like, now, yes, I can't remember how old they said the girl was, but she was underage, and she's talking about she hanging with her friends, and they smoking weed, and they drinking alcohol. This is all things that shouldn't be happening, right? And they at a house, and it's a party, and he essayed her multiple times. on different occasions. Now, there was a time where they said that they were at a mutual friend's place and she fell asleep in his room. Now, if he did this to me once before, fool me once, but she's underage. She doesn't have the wherewithal to understand. Um, she doesn't have the wherewithal to understand what is happening. You see what I'm saying? And he took advantage of it. There was some inappropriate text messages. Um, there was a time where I think she was at his house and he told her that if she was at his house and he told her that if his grandmother came in or came downstairs or whatever was in their presence, for her to say she was 18. Right? Now, the three situations that she spoke of, the three times that she spoke of this, her name is Kendall. They blotted her out, right? They um blurred her out, but you have pieces of her testimony. So and she said that this, it seemed like he has no impulse control and he has an issue. People like that need to be locked up because it's like, oh, he let me just let you hear what he did.
Letting them see the package.
I'll let y'all hear what he did, and then we can bring it back to Athena.
The defense emphasized that Hoffman didn't report anything unusual about Tanner's behavior at the time of that delivery. He testified that he didn't view the interaction as suspicious at the time and didn't believe his family or children were in danger. But obviously that changed after learning about Athena's case and realizing the similarities in age between his daughters and Athena. Up next.
Okay, so that was the constable that I was talking about.
Was the one who alerted them that they were getting a delivery. Jurors were shown.
Okay, so let me let you hear that part, that full part, because this is crazy. Play? You gonna press play? My bad.
He also showed that on that same day, Tanner searched Paradise Missing Girl and viewed multiple images of Athena. Morris testified that Tanner searched, quote, do FedEx truck cameras constantly record?
He was following the case.
An interest in how much surveillance evidence might exist. He also accessed Facebook posts from Athena's family and friends during the active search period while she was still missing. On December 2nd, 2022, Morris testified that Tanner conducted additional searches, including types of license plates, my fiance's family makes me out to be a demon, and YouTuber with the highest net worth. He again viewed more Facebook posts related to Athena's disappearance. So clearly, Tanner was actively monitoring online activity connected to the search efforts and public reaction during the investigation. Next, the state called Kevin Hoffman, a Wise County precinct constable. He testified that he lived with his family on the same road as Athena's home. They had actually received a package delivered by Tanner on November 29th, 2022. That's the day before Athena went missing. Hoffman explained that he also assisted in the search for Athena after she was reported missing. He said he checked his own property, which covered about 10 acres as part of the search effort. He told the jury he lives with his wife. And did
y'all catch that? About 10 acres. He searched his own property. About 10 acres. Damn, homie.
Daughters who were 7 and 10 years old at the time, meaning they were around the same age as Athena. His daughters were home when Tanner delivered the package, and his oldest daughter was the one who alerted them that they were getting a delivery. Jurors were shown dash cam footage from Tanner's FedEx truck during that delivery. And in the video, Hoffman and his wife come outside to retrieve the package during the interaction. Tanner can be heard telling them that he prefers the parents come out to get it, and said that during a previous delivery, he had accidentally ruined the child's Christmas by letting them see the package.
So him saying Him saying that he prefers the parents to come out and get it, I'm saying that he was fishing, right? If they would have said, oh, my parents are not here, then, right? So the parents come out, okay, okay. Now, this was a day before this dude did what he did. One day before. And if you see, like I said, if you see where he was living, y'all, his fiance was living with him with the baby, Chester. Camera's not up high enough, right? I had to refresh this. This was like, girl, we looking crazy over here. And I'm mixing the colors. Why? Because this is what I have. So I'm just going to mix the colors. I mean, I'm doing a video that is content creation. So I'm like, let me be creative with my hair as well. Okay, so let's get back to this.
The defense emphasized that Hoffman didn't report anything unusual about Tanner's behavior at the time of that delivery. He testified that he didn't view the interaction as suspicious at the time and didn't believe his family or children were in danger. But obviously that changed after learning about Athena's case and realizing the similarities in age between his daughters and Athena. Up next, a 29-year-old woman identified as Kaylin testified. Her image was blurred in court to protect her identity. She told the jury she was raised by her grandmother and shared that she was born as a result of a assault her mother experienced. She explained that she met Tanner in 2012 or 2013 when she was 16 years old through a mutual friend who played in a band with him. She described their early interactions as mostly happening through Facebook messages and around the local music scene.
So this is the bad part.
Often involve music.
This is bad.
She also testified that alcohol and marijuana were part of their social settings. And one of the exhibits shown to the jury was a cosplay photo of Kaylin dressed as a character from Death Note. She then read some messages from Tanner about this photo out loud. Tanner told her that the picture made him, quote, cream his panties. He said, quote, I had to go to Walmart and buy a pair just so I could cream them, end quote. Kaylin replied, Tanner, you're a male. It's weird that you're wearing panties. And he said, well, banana hammock, they're manties, not panties. LOL, JK, JK, end quote. Keelan also testified that Tanner was aware of her age at the time and had known that she was younger than him. She said that on one occasion, when she was at his house, he told her to say that she was 18 years old if his grandmother asked. She told the jury that in June 2013, when she was 16 and Tanner was 22, they briefly entered a dating relationship that lasted about a week. Kaylin then described two separate incidents that she said occurred during that time period that involves assault. The first incident happened in June 2013 in a shed behind his grandparents' home, where she said they had been drinking and smoking. She told the jury she became very intoxicated and was not fully coherent. She said she planned to stay the night so her grandmother would not know that she had been drinking. She testified that when she went to sleep, Tanner began touching her, kissing her, and then having sex with her. She said that they had not had sexual contact before that night.
I don't want to play that. So, she said to him after that happened, she woke up to him raping her. She told him the next day, I don't want to have that type of relationship with you. I don't want that to happen again. It happened again. She reiterated, I don't want those things to happen. You're older than me. I'm younger than you. And
She said she has been seeking therapy to cope with that. During cross-examination.
Okay, so here we go. Here we go. All right.
Athena Strand's case, she decided to come forward and report the faults. She became emotional on the stand, telling the jury that she had carried a lot of guilt for not reporting them sooner, and sometimes wondering if it could have prevented what happened to his other victims and ultimately Athena. She said she has been seeking therapy to cope with that. During cross-examination, the defense challenged Keelan's credibility and the nature of her interactions with Tanner after the
Unfortunately, um, she should have been in therapy all her life because she is a product of sexual, assault, right? SA. She's a product of that. So she should have been in therapy all the time, right? I mean, we see that she's a fictional character, but I do love the way not Olivia Pope, Olivia Benson plays on SVU, right? Because it's that's trauma. That's trauma. A pastor I used to a church I used to go to, he was a product of SA. He's Jamaican. That's the Jamaican pastor I was telling you about. But he doesn't. His mom has a serious issue with him. Like she type hates him because he is a product of that. So what do you do? Do you give it? Do you give the child away? You know what I mean? Do you keep somebody I know is a product of that, and they treat their daughter very differently than their other children. So what do you do?
alleged incidents. They suggested that she had been using meth at the time of the events, but she denied that completely. The defense also asked her to describe Tanner's personality. She testified that he had come across as socially awkward and that he often seemed to pick up parts of other people's personalities in order to fit in. She says she felt like he was trying to appear cooler than he actually was. A major focus of the defense questioning was consent and her later communications with Tanner. They suggested that she had previously expressed interest in sexual activity and that some of her statements at the time could be interpreted as consensual.
That's the
Keelan
defense.
pushed back on that, repeatedly emphasizing that she was a minor during the time period and that she did not and could not consent to what happened.
Mm-hmm.
The defense also introduced messages where Keelan had told Tanner about a sexual experience she had with another girl, seemingly to challenge how the jury interpreted their relationship dynamic at the time.
It's crazy
He
how they
also
will
pointed to
bring.
later
It's
messages.
crazy how he is of a different age, right? It is. He's damn sure wrong for trying to have this relationship, and then, but I guess that's what his defense attorney team is supposed to do, right? That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to still try to poke holes in the story, even though he's already okay. Yeah, this is weird. So you see how this still has moisture? I just took the twist out. I just take my finger and unravel it, but it still has moisture. It's very moisturized. It's just that this around here looks real old from the new growth. Yeah, okay. This is what's happening on Saturday. I don't know what happens on your Saturday night, but it was time for me to fix these twists, get my hair some new life. But it's amazing how his defense team will sit here and say and try to sully her name, right? And it's a little girl. Okay.
After the alleged assault in which she had
I am gonna go back. I am gonna go back after this part, and I'm gonna let y'all hear the letter that this ninja wrote to the family. This is what a father one day ago said. He should get the death penalty, point blank, period.
out to Tanner to hang out or smoke with him. Keelan acknowledged those messages but said that they did not change what happened. Another point of questioning involved a message where she had referred to herself as a band whore. The defense used it to question her credibility, but she clarified that she meant it in being the context of being very involved in the music scene and attending a lot of shows, not in sexual sense.
They know that.
Overall, I don't think this was a very good look for the defense. Up next, a woman named Shaylee took the stand, who Keelan had mentioned in her testimony as someone that she had confided in. Shaylee testified that she was 16 years old at the time of the events and alleged that Tanner, or during the early morning hours of December 6, 2014, she told the jury the incident happened after a house party where Tanner's band practiced. She explained that there had been ongoing conversations between them leading up to that night, mainly about whether or not they should be in a relationship.
Hey, Judy.
She testified that there were multiple conversations, but the gist of them, to her recollection, was Tanner trying to convince
we talking about this FedEx
that they should be in a relationship.
driver.
And quote, me telling him that I could not do that because he was 7 years older than me and I couldn't lie about something that big and I couldn't be with somebody with that much of an age difference between us.
Good for her.
Unquote. She said Tanner knew her age and that they had talked about it before, including her concerns about the age gap. Shaylee testified that at one point during the evening, Tanner told her that his mom would be there and instructed her to say she was 18 if asked.
Again.
She said that later that night, Tanner kissed her, but she told him she could not do anything physical with him because of their age difference. Because alcohol and
I'm in
marijuana were
awe.
involved at the party, she said that she
I'm
planned to
just,
stay
I'm in
overnight at
awe.
the house.
I'm in awe. I did not know the details of this case.
She testified that when she went to bed, Tanner attempted to cuddle with her and she told him she did not want to be touched. She said the allegations in 2018 and posted about it on Facebook. She also told the jury that after she began discussing the allegations, Tanner messaged her and accused her of lying. Prosecutors had her read part of the message aloud. It said, quote, however, it has come to my attention that you've been going around slandering my name to people saying that I pooped you. When you know that is not the case, in the years since I've talked to you, I have not even once slandered your name or have said anything degrading about your character. So I'm asking you out of respect, please stop spreading lies and misinformation about what happened between us.
This dude is off the hook.
Shaylee said firmly that she was not lying. She also told the jury that Tanner had previously discussed sexual interests, including BDSM and consensual non-consent, which she understood as fantasies involving restraint. And she said those conversations made her uncomfortable.
Well, he did. It was some paperwork that they found, I think, when he tried to unalive himself and he wrote those letters. He did. There is like, it's a circle that says autism. It's a circle that says that overlaps Catholicism. And then he has a circle that says BDSM. So he's definitely a lot confused.
Given their age difference. At one point, she testified that while she was trying to leave and get a friend to pick her up, Tanner blocked her and refused to give her the address of the house until she spoke with him. When asked about the impact the assault had on her life, she said, quote, I lost my sense of self for years. I became very erratic in my behavior while also losing all sense of voice for myself. I was angry at everybody and at everything. I ended up getting into an abusive relationship that lasted 4 years. Unquote.
Emotional
She also
distress.
described how she felt about learning about Athena Strand's case.
Trauma.
She said, I felt like I had been put back into 16-year-old me's body. I felt guilty for not coming forward. I felt shame for not speaking up sooner, legally speaking. I felt a lot of pain, reliving those memories over and over and over again, as well as thinking about the amount of pain that other people have experienced at the hands of him over and over and over again. I'm now back in therapy. I struggle with opening up to people and communicating effectively because I don't feel like I will be heard because I go back to that 16-year-old version of me. Unquote. After her testimony, she was excused from the stand, and the next witness testified remotely. And this part got pretty technical.
Okay,
Jacqueline Ferreira, a forensic analysis with the Texas GPS.
All right, so that's that part. So I'm going to go forward to, I think this is what I wanted to see. This dude is off the hook. So let me just catch you up. Let me just catch you up. So this is the Tanner guy. This is the FedEx guy on the phone with his mother talking about different things, just whining and complaining like he ain't just unalive this little girl. I don't like the ones at the front of my hair being very small, but I think this is as big as I can get it. I don't want to mess up my edges. But for those that just hopped in, we are reviewing the Tanner Horner case. This is the FedEx guy that unalived the 7-year-old little girl. So while I'm doing that, while I'm watching that, I am also retwisting, refreshing my hair. So that's why it's called Saturdays Be Like, because this is what Saturdays be like. No one else is going to do my hair for me. And I don't know what's going to happen with this case. I didn't follow it, but I do appreciate this video going from day 1 of the trial to day 8. And I don't know what's going to happen, what he's going to get, but this is absolutely insane. So that's what's happening on the back of the camera. Now we have to put it here. Okay. So he's talking to his mother. He's in jail. He's been arrested. He's talking to his mother. Oh, shoot. Okay, so this is the part where I was telling you where he told her she got to get on Facebook and contact these people. Sounds like the mom was an enabler.
His mother reacted saying, "Oh my God, that poor baby."
Okay, all right. So there we go.
Later that same day, jurors heard another call between Tanner and his mother, and this one got more direct. His mother asked him point blank what happened and whether Athena had died on her own. Tanner answered, no. His mother reacted, saying, "Oh my God, that poor baby." And Tanner responded quietly, "I know." She went on to tell him he needed to think about Athena and her family and to pray for them.
Come on, camera. This is the mother. That's Athena's mother. There we go. You haven't heard about this? So I'm not going to say like I heard about it. I didn't hear about it until I saw the pictures. Once they released the pictures of the FBI, the FedEx driver, and I didn't understand what the story was behind it, right? I just see a little girl in the FedEx truck. So I'm thinking it's going to be something like, oh, a little joke. She was in the FedEx truck and did it. No, I'm like, what in the hell is going on? So yes, he dropped off a package and picked up the girl and took her. What the hell? That doesn't even sound right, right? Now you hear him? Did you hear him? The narcissism. He said, hate, you shouldn't be receiving any hate. Why wouldn't his mother receive hate and her son unalive the 7-year-old? Come on, man. This dude is absolutely diabolical. I'm gonna swap out tripods because you see you got the gangster lean. I hate this. So I'm gonna swap out tripods. Do you hear this? He said, I know that they're making it worse than it is on TV. So to the right, that everybody have on pink, that's the family of Athena. Okay, so let me make this clear. Let me make it clear. So the mother mother said, well, I guess the troopers or someone contacted her, and he was like, well, you shouldn't be talking to them about the case, whatever. And then the mother keeps asking him, this is like the second time she's asked him, did you, I got to move the camera around, so give me a second. Did you do something wrong to her, in the wrong way? She said, great, right? Because that is what the, I guess, the law enforcement keeps talking to them about, right? And he keeps saying, what? No. What? No. But the mother is concerned. His mother, when I say the mother, his mother is concerned because she keeps asking him the same question. And then, he says, if the police or if law enforcement tried to come and talk to you or talk to his child's mother, that he should, that she should refrain and just only just say no. How can you say no when law enforcement is trying to talk to you about something that your son did, and there's a 7-year-old that has been unalive? This dude is diabolical. Some lawyers just defend anything, the lowest of the low. When it comes to when it comes to defense attorneys, I don't I don't know. I guess they said, let me just say this. Some of the defense attorneys are previous prosecutors. It's like they're known to go into that direction. All right, I was a prosecutor. Now I am I'm a what's the name, attorney, right? I'm a defense attorney, because who else understands better than a prosecutor? You already was on one side, now you go into the next side. So yeah, but I guess it's money in being a defense attorney too, right? But this is crazy. Yes, he looks like a mama's boy from the side. Um, okay, you just washed your hair. Yeah, gotta get it tight, gotta get it right. All right, so just catching you up on that. Um, this conversation is absolutely diabolical. This dude, I don't know what he's going to get, but wait until you hear the letters that he wrote. He's talking to his mother about his libido. This is the second time he has brought up his libido to his mother based on some type of medication he's on. Mm, mm, mm. Mm. So he's over there. That's what Tanner is. He's saying you would think that he would have to sign a waiver. Listen to what he says. Listen. Listen. Did you hear him? Now, okay. You're gonna see the girl. This is Athena's family. That's Athena's mother with the pink hair. This is, I don't know who he is, but this is Athena's family. Now you're gonna see her shake her head, right? But did you hear what this ninja said? He was like, they just want a story. If they bond me out, give me an extra $1 million, I can buy Cassie and the baby a house, and then I will give the rest leftovers. You see, it's right on the screen. The leftovers to the family. What? Mm, mm, mm. And laughing.
It's honestly really disgusting to hear him talk about his libido when his mom asked if he assaulted Athena. The jury also heard parts of other calls and even a recorded jail visit. Some moments during the visit were emotional and others almost casual. Tanner talked about all kinds of things. He mentioned his fiance, what life in jail was like, and even random topics like Dragon Ball Z. At times, he also talked about the media attention surrounding the case and even brought up the idea of making money off his story. That part especially felt jarring, given what this case was about.
No, they not what kind of person, ma'am. See, this is what happens when people want to sit there, when family members want to sit there. Hold on, hold on. This is what happened with family members or people. I'm not going to say family members, enablers. But in this case, his mother, he want to cry, oh, people know that you're not that type of person. You're not what type of person? Ninja? You didn't. This dude has confessed. He confessed to to law enforcement, right? In the beginning of this video, he confessed to law enforcement that he hurt her. He said that he had another part of him, his alternate personality named Zero, led him to the body and this, that, and the third. Okay, now, what is he crying about? Like mother talk about some, oh, everyone knows you're not that type of person. He said he was going to be the one that didn't F up. Mm. I don't know what he's saying. Oh. He said something about his son is gonna wonder why my effing father isn't, like he said his son is gonna say, why my effing father isn't here. Well, first of all, your son is a child and he shouldn't be saying effing, right? But then he throws his baby mother or his fiance like, well, my mom isn't here, but the mom isn't here, but you already know about that. He's mad because his fiance won't talk to anyone. But how is she supposed to feel? I don't know who she is, what her type of, how she feel about herself, because the house where they live, the shack, not the house, it's a shack. It's a 1-bedroom, damn nasty ass shack. So the shack was disgusting. You had a baby by this dude and you were about to marry him. So now people, the world knows how you lived with him in that nasty shack with the baby, and he's mad that she won't talk to anyone. Now, we know how communities are. When something like this happened, everyone is talking. I mean, she could be so sad and depressed that she could do something to herself. I hope she doesn't. But for him, ooh, Jesus, is why you can't ignore the warning signs. You cannot ignore the warning signs. Okay, so I want you to see this. He was just crying, right? Oh, my son. I don't get to see my son. Watch how he just straightened up when because he said that Nicole, he has to talk to her through Nicole. Whoever the hell Nicole is, she is somebody else is is talking to him through them. Now, because Cassie don't want to talk to his ass. Now, he's crying. So then the mother is like, well, the detectives, the investigators want to talk to her, was questioning her about, the grape, right? And now watch how he straightened up. Watch how he straightened up. I don't know if you all heard that because I walked into the other room and I had the mic. So let me run it back. You right? He's crying. His son waking up. Why the F isn't my daddy here? You see how you changed? My mom isn't here, but you know. See how you changed? Mm-hmm. Texas Rangers. You see?
Once again,
This
after his mom
dude.
asked if he ripped Athena, a little girl, he said, "No, I couldn't even get it up for Cassie," referring to his girlfriend, fiance, whatever. Again, there's
Whatever. Whatever.
talking about his libido in a situation that was just so foul, and then laughing, saying he could sell his story to the media for $1 million and buy his fiance inside a nice house, fix up his mom's house, and then toss the extra to Athena's family. Like, here's the scraps. It's diabolical. Then he had the audacity to get emotional about not being able to see his own son, when Athena's parents will never be able to see her again because he killed her. Anyway, after the jury sat through multiple.
I respect her. Anyway, right? My ass, y'all see me on here crying like this don't make no damn sense, right? I need to be more poised like that.
Clips from these calls. Court wrapped up for the day. Day 6 of trial focused heavily on digital evidence from the days immediately after Athena was
Okay, so let me.
The timeline around Tanner's actions and searches. The first witness was Scott Morris, a digital forensic examiner with the FBI. He testified that he performed a full extraction of the phone.
Where are we at? 140. I think I passed it. I want to get to the letters. I want her to read the letters and then I'll go forward. So this is him. This is her mother. This is his mother telling her what happened. Let me see.
She also described performing a specialized dissection to determine whether string.
Sorry, guys. I thought I remembered where it was with the letter, but I can't find it. And my hand is deep in here. So this is the first time he called his mom and she asked him what happened. Yeah, the mother said, "Oh my God. Did she die on her own?" He said no. Look, now he talking about Cassie. He want to see his own son. He don't care about that little girl. Well, of course she's freaked out. She's engaged to someone that just unalived the little girl. She said they're bad. She said they're bad because the bond, the bail was 1.5 million. She said they're bad. What do you mean they're bad? You see that? You see that? The mother. I want you to pray for her and her family. I know, Mom. I know, Mom. Did you see Cassie? I need you to get a hold of her. This ninja don't care, but I did find where the letter is. So let me go to there. 118. Hold on. 118:34. Okay.
After what investigators described as a suicide attempt in his jail cell.
So the S word where you unalive yourself is going to be taken out. So that's why you hear.
Stand again, continuing to walk the jury through post-arrest evidence and materials collected during the investigation. And one of the first things shown to the jury were the letter that Tanner wrote after what investigators described as a suicide attempt in his jail cell a few months after he was arrested. Those letters were addressed to multiple people, including law enforcement, his family, and Athena's family. So let's go ahead and read the letter that was addressed to Athena's family. It says, and I'm going to read it in its entirety, quote, to Athena's family, I wanted to start by saying how sorry I am about Athena. The entire time I've known my legal counsel, they continue to tell me how I don't need to apologize, shouldn't apologize until the trial. And frankly, I can't hold it in any longer. I've done a terrible thing to your family, and I'm sorry. I can't tell you how many countless nights I stayed awake, unable to sleep. I pray for all of you.
Peep
Somebody
this
was
letter.
affected by my breakdown, not just your family, but
Y'all.
my own as well. You'll never get to see your baby girl grow up. Sorry. Now my son is going to grow up without his father and protector. I owe it y'all to explain where my mind is at. Let me start by saying I have Asperger's syndrome. In other words, I'm on the autism spectrum. I don't do well with change or things that are unpredictable in nature. When I first started out as a FedEx driver, I was given a singular route. That route wouldn't change for a while. After a bit, my employer started making random changes to my route, adding stuff from other routes so they could make more money. I don't do well with change. Again, I can have meltdowns when unexpected changes to my daily routine happen.
I don't think that should have been a right job for him then.
Super episode. I had to leave early that day, or I was going to walk myself into oncoming traffic. The only thing that stopped me from thinking of that was my son growing up without his father. So I took off for a week and sought help. I got put on medication, and a week later, I was back to work. I let my employers know how I needed to keep consistent routine, and I wouldn't have any issues. However, I was ignored when I returned. They did the opposite of what was good for someone like me. They made me a floater. They put me on a different route every day, every time. I reminded them that I needed to be on a routine. It was like it would go in one ear and out the other. My mental health started to steadily get worse.
This dude is off the hook.
I couldn't just quit. I had a son and I had to take care of everything else.
This is the letter to the family.
All that. Certain aspects of my home life started to fall apart as well. I guess they got sick of me constantly telling them I needed consistency because they sold me off to another company without me having any say in the matter. In hindsight, I'm starting to think they were attempting to get me to quit, which in retrospect was kind of scummy. After a while with the new contractor, I started with big top spin. My life started to kind of fall back into place. I got a car again, but I was still consistently stressed and had multiple meltdowns because even this new company had no regard for my mental health because they still refused to put me on a consistent route. The holidays came and my stress only multiplied. They forced everyone to work 6 days a week as volume got higher and higher. It was all the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm sorry I allowed my mental state to be unstable. I'm sorry I picked your little angel away from you. She didn't deserve it. You all didn't deserve it. My son didn't deserve to lose his father. My mother didn't deserve to lose her son. My fiance didn't deserve to have her wedding day stripped from her. I pray that my death eases your suffering in some way.
He thought he was going to die.
For forgiveness and for you to remember my son and show him some grace and mercy, for he no longer has his father. I love you all, and I'm sorry, Tanner Horner. Side notes.
That's the letter that he wrote to Athena's family. I love you. Just remember my son. He is a complete narcissistic sociopath. Okay. And then he did a side note. Peep the side note.
FedEx themselves are quite negligent when it comes to safety. They do nothing.
Now he's talking about FedEx.
To make sure contractors' vehicles are actually road ready. Polaris and Big Top Spin both tell their employees to lie under beginning and end of day expectation because it's a pain to underground vehicles. I hope this letter both helps ease your suffering and helps with your case against FedEx. Just know I have found God through all of this. With love and sorrow and remorse, I love you all, and I am so sorry, end quote. And I just have to say, that letter really hit me when I heard it. He blames everybody. He talks about his own son. It's lacking, in my opinion, so much empathy, or any at all. In another letter, this one addressed to detectives, Tanner claimed that another man had been present when Athena was taken. So let's read this one.
Whew.
It states,
So
detective.
I'm not going to go through that one. He's just trying to continue to think that he has some type of control. But that letter that he wrote to the family, what in the whole entire hell?
An online activity connected to the search efforts and public reaction during the investigation.
Let me slow this down. Let me slow this down. Because when they start talking about the technical stuff, I don't want it to be too fast. But Joe, normal. Joe does the workouts in fast speed. When she showed us that, I was like, oh, shoot. Thank you kindly.
Hoffman, a Wise County precinct constable. He testified that
okay, so that's the guy. All right, so let's go through this. We're almost at the end. Okay. All right, so this is the DNA part. And all right, so I want to get to day 7.
Isabel. So overall, the takeaway from her testimony was that there was male DNA present and biological evidence on multiple items, but the defense still had room to argue about when it got there and what exactly it came from.
I don't think that's going to make a difference.
She finished, court wrapped up for the day. Day 7 testimony picked back up.
Well, per him, he said that he has asked for forgiveness, but honestly, his behavior and what he's saying has shown that he has no remorse. But if you, like I said, if you see how he was living, and whether, they say he has Asperger's, he grew up around addicts and this and that. This is why I say, if therapy is not obtained or sought out when these young people are going through things, they become messed up adults. And this dude could not control himself. There were 3 people that testified, but they hid their identity about how he just jumping on them and just essaying them. He sound like Diddy. He has no sorry guys, I need some water. It'd be hot in here. Is my back door open? Let me open it. He has no remorse for what he has done. And he also, it's not open. He also doesn't have, it seems like he doesn't have any, what's the word I'm looking for? Self-control. He doesn't have any self-control. He is jumping on these girls. And that's why I say when we see what has happened, what he did, you go and you just deliver a package and it's like, oh my God, I gotta, he just took her. He just took her. I gotta take her. What? Who in the hell does that? Tanner Horner.
And day 7, and this part of the trial really leaned into the forensic side of things. It was a lot of lab work, a lot of technical explanation.
Okay, so I got to go forward.
All of it tied back to figuring out what exactly happened to Athena. And then later in the day, we got to hear from Athena's own mother, which is
I think I'm on day 8. Give me 1 second.
First up was Erica Reynaga, a forensic scientist with the Texas Department of Public Safety Crime Lab in Garland.
I'm going to fast forward that. I just had to fix my twist real quick. Let's fast forward this. We're going to day 8. We already saw day 7. Let's go into day 8. And I think this is the technology. Oh, this is, I didn't see this. Okay, so let me do this. Oh, wait, hold on. What are you doing? You went back too far. No, I don't want to launch Sling. What are we talking about here?
She finished. Court wrapped up for the day. Day 7 testimony picked back up. And day 7, and this part of the trial really leaned into the forensic side of things. It was a lot of lab work,
Wait.
a lot of technical explanation.
I didn't take it back too far. Oh my God, I didn't take it back too far. Okay, all right. So here we go. Okay, that's still the technical part. That's the forensic. That's the DNA. We already saw that. Okay, let's see where we are now.
On the other hand, cannot be excluded does not mean the person is definitively identified as the source. It only means their DNA is consistent and
Oh, wait, I want y'all to hear this. This is in regards to like Nancy Guthrie.
down specific individuals with strong statistical confidence, while YSTR testing helped confirm the presence of male line DNA were samples in samples where it might otherwise have been harder to detect. A key part.
So there's never like a yes
testimony
or no with DNA.
That can easily get misunderstood in DNA cases, which is the way scientists actually describe a match. So she explained that the lab doesn't usually use the word match in a simple,
there we go,
absolute way when talking about DNA results. Instead, they use more precise language like cannot be excluded or excluded, because real world DNA samples are often partial, mixed, or degraded, which makes interpretation more complicated. She broke down what those terms actually mean for the jury. So if someone is excluded, it means the known DNA profile has one or more genetic markers that do not line up with the DNA found in the evidence sample. In other words, the person's DNA does not fit what was recovered from the item being tested.
Right.
On the other hand, cannot be excluded does not mean the person is definitively identified as the source. It only means their DNA is consistent enough with the sample that they cannot be ruled out as a possible contributor. So Casona's
You understand that?
basically to make sure the jury understood that DNA conclusions aren't always as easy as a clean yes or no.
So that's interesting, right? So it's like, okay, they won't say a match or non-match. DNA has all of these strains. So they're saying if one or more does not match, then it doesn't match that strain. So they're going to basically, well, they're going to be excluded because one or more doesn't match the pattern. So we already know that you're not even a part of this, right? Now the other one, on the other hand, she's saying that if one or more matches, they're not going to say it's a match. They're going to say that they cannot be excluded because one or more match. Right? That makes sense?
In mixed samples. The science about probabilities and consistency, not absolute certainty in the everyday sense of the word match. Casoto then moved into the actual results from the testing, and this is where she explained what the lab found in the different samples. She said that for the autosomal STR testing done on the vaginal swab, Tanner was actually excluded. That means his DNA profile did not fully fit what was found in that sample under that testing method. She explained that the profile they got from the swab was a mixture of two different individuals. In their interpretation, Athena was assumed to be one of those contributors, which is common, of course, in sexual assault kit analysis, where the victim's DNA is expected to be present, right?
Yes.
But from there, she said that the statistical comparison showed that the DNA evidence was only about twice as likely to come from Athena and an unknown individual as it was to come from Athena and Tanner. That is a very low level of distinction in forensic terms, and it reflects how limited and mixed the sample was. Prosecutors pointed out that vaginal swabs can often contain a large amount of female DNA, which can overwhelm any male DNA that might be present. That can make it harder to get a clear autosomal profile.
I didn't know that.
For a male contributor, especially if the sample is degraded or mixed.
I didn't know that. See, you learned something new.
That the results from the YSTR testing, which focuses on male DNA, and in that testing, she said Tanner could not be excluded as a contributor for both the vaginal and anal swabs. She added that
It's not I think if we follow true crime, let me just read it. I'm just saying, So Judy said Ashley Banfield has a DNA specialist on her show and also explained it very easily. And if you follow true crime, then you're going to pick up certain things. And when it comes to the DNA and things like that, I have picked up these things to fully understand it, but it's not fully understand it, but I understand what she was saying.
Partial YSTR profile was also.
I was going to say that's why the Nancy Guthrie DNA, the evidence in regards to the DNA, that's why that is so important, right? They don't have any other evidence as far as we know in regards to the Nancy Guthrie case, but that DNA, that small amount or whatever amount of DNA that they have, right? I just wonder how they got that if these people were so um uh um careful, right? It has been said that, oh well, we question like, well, what was in the bag? Was it an extra set of clothes? Was it an extra set of clothes for him? And he dropped something, and Nancy fought him. Who knows? That's the crazy part. Like when things like this happen, we have no idea what has happened um, between those two. We have no idea between the victim and the suspect. We don't know what happened. We may know some of the end result, if someone ends up unalive, but we have no idea what has actually transpired to make these things a reality.
Obtained from the oral swab, and in that location as well, Tanner couldn't.
So, Judy, it was definitely hair. Sorry, I don't know. Sometimes I'll press a button and then it's like, oh, well, you're done. I'm like, but I didn't press in. So, it said, let me see. Come on, live chat. There we go. Judy said, I'm curious to find out about the hair they found in the new update. I'm curious too, because that's the only DNA that they have. That's the DNA that they sent to, oh, I was about to say Mexico. That's the DNA that they sent to Florida. So that is the only DNA that they have. And I'm just like, we're all sitting there like this. But you got to hide your children, hide your wives, and be safe because these people are psycho. Nowadays, I don't know what's going on. People have lost it.
Not be excluded. So overall, the testing on one sample excluded him, while the YSTR testing across multiple samples showed male DNA consistent enough that he could not be ruled out. And up next, Maitland Gandy, Athena's mother, took the stand. She began by describing the photo of Athena that had been shared with the media after her disappearance.
That's a shame.
This was also the same photo displayed in the courtroom.
That's a shame.
With Athena in a beautiful big red bow. And on the stand, Maitland held a red bow in her hands. And she said that it was the same one from that photograph and that she carries it with her whenever she comes to Texas.
I don't wish that on
She
anybody.
told the jury that when that photograph was taken of Athena, that she had no idea that she only had a little over 24 hours left with Athena.
Wow.
She said that day had just been a quick drop off because Athena was heading off with her dad to look at Christmas lights. The last thing she remembers saying to her was that she loved her, but it's not the kind of final goodbye she would have hoped for. When she spoke about Athena, it got more personal and honestly a lot harder to sit through. She described her as this perfect mix of sweet and wild. Athena would.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Judy. So that DNA that was originally sent to the private lab has now been sent to Quantico. Yes, to the FBI. Which that's what I was saying. If it was sent there in the first place, then maybe we wouldn't be in day 76, 77. I'm losing count. We wouldn't be in all these days waiting for DNA. And unfortunately, the sheriff is, in the news again in regards to not saying him, but it being posted, Nancy was found or whatever, whatever. And of course, everybody's going to think that it was Nancy Guthrie. So now they're being blamed like, oh, y'all did that for clicks and views. And I said, damn. But that they should have specified. But I don't know.
Wear princess dresses, but still go run through the dirt without a second thought. She said she was bright, free, loving, and full of life. Someone who loved everything and wanted to give love just as much as she wanted it back. She also talked about co-parenting with Athena's dad, Jacob Strand. She said it wasn't perfect, but they tried to keep the hard parts between them and not let it spill into Athena's life. As long as Athena was happy, that's what mattered to both of them. She said most people who met Athena loved her instantly, besides one person.
Getting down to all,
Wow.
you, Jacob, or your family in Oklahoma, or his family here in Texas, absolutely love it.
There's no doubt whatsoever that every single person that has ever met Athena, besides maybe one, absolutely loved Athena.
Well,
Is that the kid on the bus?
It's actually the defendant in this case. I would like to think that he doesn't love her. That kid on the bus may also not particularly care for her.
The one she smacked in the head with a water ball.
Mommy did t-shirt it, no means no.
right.
When she moved into
Mommy
the
told
day,
her. They
Athena
said
went
she
missing.
fought though.
She said she didn't
They
even
said
believe-
this little girl fought. But well, how can a 7-year-old? A 7-year-old is no match for a grown man that is 250 pounds. But she did fight. They said she was a precocious little girl, but she spoke up for herself. She got in trouble for talking too much in school. The teacher sent a note home. Just like I said in my situation when I was younger, maybe the teacher should challenge her more. Maybe the work is too easy, right? But yeah.
At first, her immediate response was just, no, she's not. She described driving from Oklahoma to Texas in what felt like no time at all, saying she made it in about 45 minutes when it normally takes her closer to 2 hours. She said she felt like she was having a
45
the
minutes.
whole way, just telling herself if she kept going,
So
everything
sad.
would somehow be okay. When she got there, officers told her to stay in her Jeep so she would not interfere with the search dogs. She ended up sitting there while everyone else searched, not being able to help. She also said she was not allowed to join the search for 2 days until the dogs were no longer being used.
An officer had told me that they had taken away the dogs and I could get out of the vehicle, and I asked him, can I search myself? He said yes. So Ashley's dad, Jacob's dad, my uncle,
Mm.
and Jacob and I went out and searched all of Jacob's property and the surrounding properties, even though all of those people were probably sound asleep in their own beds. And we didn't ask permission. And later that day, when more volunteers had come out and more officers arrived, and talked to a few
They wouldn't have found
different
her anyway.
investigators throughout the time. I walked lineups. I walked that county road
Yeah.
over and over and over again. I searched Jacob's ponds.
They wouldn't have. I don't know how far she was from where they were searching. But
And I'm not from that county, so I didn't know where else to go. And I didn't know
wow.
where else to look. I just knew she wasn't there.
And then she spoke about the moment she was told Athena had died. She said she immediately went into denial and told the sheriff that he didn't know what he was talking about. She asked to see her daughter, but said she was told no because of how bad the body looked. She said, though, that when she finally saw Athena on December 6th, she went in early before Jacob arrived because she didn't want him to see her like that. She described injuries and discoloration and said she and her dad tried to clean her up and even put her in a hospital gown because she was naked. She said she was just searching her body for anything that would make it feel like this wasn't real, that this wasn't her baby.
On Tuesday, December 6th of 2022.
That's sad. This
I
is
was
very
allowed
sad.
to see Athena.
This is very sad.
I went in
I don't even have any
about an
children,
hour
but I
before
can't
I
even
actually
I
told
can't even
Jacob
fathom
to
this.
show up. Because
She
I
can't
didn't
even see her child because
know
her child is evidence.
what she would look
Her
like.
body is
And I
evidence
didn't know
until
how
they
bad
release her.
it would be.
Wow.
And I didn't want him to see our daughter like that. So
the medical examiner, I don't know what she's going to say, but the medical examiner said that everywhere on her body except for, I think, her right or her left arm, one of her arms was the only thing that didn't have cuts and bruises and whatever. Like, this dude wilded the F out on a 7-year-old. He could have went to a smash room. He's blaming it on medication. He's blaming it on FedEx. He's blaming it on everyone except for, and then Zero, whoever he says Zero is, and then some type of voice in his head. Oh, I shouldn't have listened to the voice in my head. This is all this is nonsense.
I went in around 8 in the morning with just my dad. And her ears were messed up.
Her ears
And
were messed
she
up.
had incision lines. And her chin was scraped up.
Wow.
And so we put her in a hospital gown because I didn't have clothes for her.
Wow.
And she was naked.
Wow.
And I searched her body.
He is
for any
savage.
reason. But
He's a
that wasn't my
savage.
baby.
Wow.
And then we did her makeup. So Jacob wouldn't have to see the discoloration and how bad it was.
Wow. That's nice of her to think about her ex-husband like that.
Yes, always.
After that, she said she
I
went to
hear you.
Walmart just trying to pick
I
up
hear you, Miss
clothes for her,
T
dresses,
here. I
socks,
hear you.
panties, shoes, leggings, bows. She talked about it like
I
she
didn't
was
know
just
what this
moving
was.
through it and not
I
really
just,
processing it, just trying to do
I'm vested now.
anything that felt like caring for her daughter.
I've been watching it
She
all
also
day,
talked
on and
about
off.
Athena's little sister Rye. She said Athena had been so excited to have a sibling and would hold her like she was just completely in love with her.
This is
She said that
horrible.
they were about 4 years apart, and it was something Athena had wanted for a long time, a sibling. And next, she spoke about the funeral and how she received Athena's ashes on
Right.
December 10th.
Have
which
a good
also
night, Miss
happened
T
to be
here.
Rye's third birthday. She said
Me
bringing
too,
her daughter
Judy.
home like that just
Me
wasn't
too.
how it was supposed to go. She also admitted that she did not tell Rye the full truth for a long time, saying that she just kept telling her
I
Athena
knew
was with her
this
dad for a
was-
little longer.
I
She didn't
knew it
tell
was
her what really
bad,
happened
but I
until what
didn't
would have
know
been
the
Athena's
extent
8th
of
birthday.
this. I did not
Throughout
know
all of
this.
There were moments where Maitland would look over toward Tanner with this intense stare. Tanner, on the other hand, just sat there with this quiet expression.
He's diabolical.
I mean, he looked sad, I guess, but there were not any tears. And when asked why she made a point to attend every hearing leading up to the trial,
I
Maitland
can't
said it was
believe it.
because she had to cover handprint bruises around her daughter's neck, and because Athena
Wow.
no longer has a voice of her own.
Wow.
She explained that for her, Showing up is about making sure Athena is seen as a
These
real
parents
person,
are so
not just a
strong.
headline or a case file.
Yeah,
She
these
said she
parents are
doesn't
so
want her
strong.
daughter reduced to a
They are
number
so
or a
strong
picture that someone scroll
because
past.
how do
Athena
you
was a
not?
full, real
I
little
know
girl
they
who was
want to
loved,
unalive
who
this
still
dude,
loved,
and there's
and
nothing
who
that they can
deserved
do.
to keep living her life.
The
She
devil
said
does
she will
have many
be her voice
faces.
now, and she will keep speaking for her so no one forgets who
Wow.
she was or what was taken from her.
Wow.
Had to cover up handprint bruises around my daughter's neck.
Yeah, this is horrible.
And because she
Now-
no longer has a voice.
She's repeating what she said, but let me just say this. Do you know that he already pled guilty on day one of this trial? He pled guilty. Now, this happened in 2022. So they've been living with this for 4 years until it finally went to trial. Now, this dude, they have to sit through all of this. I don't know how Texas, legal system, but they have to sit through the evidence and all of this like it was a trial. The only difference is she looking right at his ass.
And that she wanted to live.
Greetings, Nancy. I appreciate you.
There was also a moment where she was asked
I
about the video
appreciate
of
you.
Inside Tanner's FedEx van.
So this is we're covering. I came across this video today, and this is heart heavy. This is very heart heavy. I didn't know. I mean, I looked at the early part, but this is very heart heavy, and this is in regards to Tanner Horner, unalive, and the 7-year-old, the FedEx driver. The parents that go through things like this, where they have to sit in the courtroom with someone that has unalived their child, what's the word I'm looking for? Not the poise, but they have to hold all of their emotions in. Right? I know they want to jump across that damn table and unalive this dude. And it's just so wrong. I mean, this is law and order. We have to have law and order. We can't just have vigilante justice. But when we see, movies like The Equalizer and things like that, I kind of wish we could have some type of vigilante justice, because this is absolutely insane. And there's nothing you can do. They have to live with this for the rest of their lives. Um, the ungodly, the unnatural order of them having to bury their child because they received the package and the delivery driver decides, drop this package off and I'm gonna take this little girl. And because I have all this anger and um, non-sexual control of myself, I'm just gonna do these things. And it's like, what the? And you can't unalive them. Then your family be sitting in there in court with you. It's just these families are extremely strong to have to deal with this. Okay, we have 20 some odd minutes.
Only watch about a minute or two of it. Even then, she seemed shaken by the idea of it.
Okay, so they did in the courtroom, they showed the video
And no one can take that from her.
of them in the Tanner and the little girl in the truck.
And I will be her face, and I will be her voice, and I will make sure.
And he covered the camera.
In this world knows that she was loved.
Look how she looking at his ass.
And that she wanted
Look how she looking at him. She want to kill him.
There was also a moment where she was asked about the video from inside Tanner's FedEx van. She said that she could only watch about a minute or two of it. Even then, she seemed shaken by the idea of it. Turning toward the jury, she actually apologized. She said she was sorry to the people who have to watch it, sorry to everyone in the room, because none of them asked for what's on that video, especially not Athena.
You have any chance to view or look at any portion of it?
Not only did they have to look at the video, they had to hear the audio of an hour of him beating and torturing this girl in the truck. I don't wish that on my worst enemy.
How much of it were you able to
Mm. Well,
Maybe a minute, maybe two.
well, I'm sorry, ma'am. It's really sad.
I can't,
No.
and I'm very sorry to all of the innocent people that do to watch that. I'm so sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry to you, and I'm sorry to you all too. Because none of us, not Athena, not me, not anyone in this room, besides Tanner Horner, asked for what's on that video. And Athena.
So Nancy, we were talking about
Prosecutors,
Ashley Janae last night on Friday Night Frights, and yeah, I don't think that she unalived herself, and I hope that they find some type of evidence of her being a content creator. I hope she journaled or something like that, and yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching the replay. I just really hope that they find something. Somebody's going to talk, especially in Africa. Somebody's going to talk. Somebody might be afraid. Somebody's going to talk. It's just that so many horrible things are happening. Now, this happened almost 4 years ago. This was in 2022.
asked her what she still wants to know. Valen said she believes Tanner will never tell the truth, but she still wants answers anyway. She said she wants to know everything, including where Athena's shirt is. That detail clearly still haunts her. Where is Athena's shirt?
I thought he said
She
that
said-
he threw some clothes out. So some of the clothes were found at his house, which is the craziest thing, right? Some of her clothes, her socks, the jeans she had on, but they can't find her shirt. And it's, with the mom and the family, how they grieve, like she wants the shirt. Where's the shirt? That's the one thing that bothers her. It may not be the shirt, right? It's when there's a deeper issue, and a deeper issue is, how do I deal with this ninja then took my baby and unalived her? And it's like, it's not like her daughter was sick. It's not like, it's when someone dies unexpectedly, she has answers. The Nancy Guthrie family doesn't. Ashley Janae family doesn't. Many of the people that I talked about featured last night, they do not. Dr. Serena, Miss Barbara Deere, all of these people, they want answers, but it's unfortunate because sometimes the answers may never come. And these diabolical people that do it, all you can do is hope and pray that, well, hopefully what they say that happens in prison actually happens, right? That's all you can say.
He probably wouldn't care enough to remember something like that, or even when Athena took her last breath. And then
Wow.
she made this really painful contrast, saying she was there when Athena took her first steps and
Wow.
said her first words,
Wow.
but not there when she took her last breath.
Yeah, that is. Oh man. Okay, so I kind of let me fast forward this because this is. I don't want to be crying. Y'all know I be crying up a damn storm.
And I doubt, I highly doubt that he cared enough to pay attention to when my daughter took her last breath.
He's not going to tell her that.
Because I brought her to this world, and I know when she took her first.
And honestly, she shouldn't want anything from him.
She took her first steps, and I said her first word.
Not like that.
She took her last. So I want to know where her shirt is. Because maybe he can give me that much grace.
She said she talks to Athena every single day.
Good for
She
her.
apologizes to her for not being there to protect her, tells her she loves her, and updates her about little sister Rye and what she's doing as she grows up.
Wow.
She also tells Athena about all the people fighting for her in court, the attorneys, and everyone working to make sure she's not forgotten and that she gets justice.
Wow.
Day 8 began with the first witness of the day.
All right.
Athena's
So I
father,
think it's only.
Jacob Strait.
Oh.
The prosecution started by asking him about his favorite memories of Athena, and his answer painted a really simple but vivid
If
picture
he
of her
could
childhood.
unalive
He
that
described a
dude,
spring
I
day
see that
when
all
walked
in his
outside
eyes.
from a
Like,
plane in a water trough that she had built herself. She had taken her Barbies and toys outside with her and was sitting
oh wow,
in the
she's
trough
crying.
with
Look at
dress and
this.
cowgirl boots, just playing like it was the most normal thing in the world. She was just a carefree little girl. When asked about her interests,
This
she
dog
said
been chilling for
she
about
was
2,
into
3,
all
almost
the
3
typical
hours.
little girl things like Frozen, unicorns, and mermaids, but she also loved being outside and getting dirty. When asked if she likes singing Frozen songs, she said that she sang them 24/7. The state then showed him a box of Barbie dolls. Jacob explained that those were the last Christmas gifts he and Ashley had bought for Athena. He said they had planned to give them to her, but never got a chance. From there, the testimony moved into the day that Athena went missing. Jacob said the day started off normal. He went to work, came home, spent a little time with Athena after school.
Just so
Then
you
he left for
know,
a hunting trip with his dad just before
he's
dark.
not
And
with
before he left, he
his
said
wife
goodbye to
anymore.
all the kids
The
and gave Athena
stepmother.
a hug.
They broke up.
Did you say bye to the other? You told her about
I told all the kids and everything of buying, gave her a hug.
Man, I ain't gonna never understand. His mouth is not moving, and then he has this big beard. I don't know what the hell he's saying.
And I told her not to run up on me while.
Like my aunt would say, "Open your mouth."
And, yeah, give her another
You
hug.
got a real tight mouth.
that was your final limit to, alive.
Yes.
Then
When
he got the
first found
southern
out Athena was
drawl.
missing, he said his initial reaction wasn't full panic yet. He thought she just might be outside playing or even hiding somewhere since she was really good at hide and seek. It wasn't until later that the situation started to feel wrong.
Oh my
Jacob
god.
told the jury that he immediately started searching for her himself.
Oh my
He said
god.
he searched every day whenever he was allowed to, and he felt like he could do it better because he knew the property and surrounding the woods so well, having grown up there as well. But despite all of that searching, he never found her.
No.
The state then moved into the moment Jacob learned Athena had been found. He said it was December 2nd, and he was at Cottondale
I think
Church
they were in the
Breckenridge.
church.
How was that for you?
I think they were in a church. Wait, they never found Natalie Holloway's body? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Wow.
Nerve-wracking and hard.
Yeah.
So I hope that.
Jacob also shared how he still stays connected to Athena. He said there is a spot on their property where he goes to talk to her under a fruitless pear tree that Athena loved. That tree, the one of her favorite places to sit and play. He talked about how Athena.
Yeah, they have to find a way to.
All the time.
Damn.
Climb tree, bring toys outside and eat.
They just have to find a way to live with it. You never get over it, but to live with it.
And Jacob said it made him feel horrible.
But he said the dude should have to
He
get
said,
the
"I shouldn't have
death
done
penalty.
something or been there. I wasn't there to protect them like I should be."
It made me feel horrible, like, like I should have done something or been there. And, I wasn't there to protect him. I should be in a father's role.
He carried guilt.
Yes.
Yeah, he carried guilt. You can see it in his eyes. But you
How
know,
would you handle more trauma and more pain from this?
many of us carry guilt when we feel like we could have controlled something.
self-destruction.
Oh wow, self-destruction. Oh man, he started drinking, doing
I
drugs.
just kind of held everything in and it was broken.
Oh,
Have you had alcohol?
yeah, just trying to make it disappear. Their divorce.
It ruined my marriage.
How did it affect your ability to sleep and normal day-to-day activities?
I couldn't sleep and I was only eat like 37 days. And I lost like 50 pounds.
Wow.
Jacob ended his testimony by talking about justice, what he hoped would come.
He want the death penalty.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. How you feel about that?
Not go.
What do you miss most about the
Just her laugh and her spirit. She loved it.
So all of this is so sad, but
everything that you wanted her to understand?
this is necessary for the penalty phase.
I just hope that the journey in the justice system will make the right decision.
Mm.
When the prosecution passed him to the defense, they didn't ask any questions. They simply said, Mr. Strand, we have no questions for you, and we are terribly sorry for your loss.
Mm-hmm.
And next, the prosecution brought Texas Ranger.
That would look bad if they
questioned
questioned or came at the father.
Was a camera inside Tanner's
He might.
FedEx.
He saw that
As
look.
explained,
He's like, forget this.
Hours of footage from the van, and what they found was that Tanner had repeatedly covered the interior camera with something like a sticky note or another object.
I hope they're all in therapy though.
He testified that the first time he saw the camera being covered was November 26th, 2022, and then it happened again on November 29th, which was the day, by the way, that Tanner delivered a package to the Huffman home, the family that lived on the same road as Athena. If you recall, Mr. Huffman said his young daughters were outside playing when Tanner pulled up to deliver that package. So the fact that the camera was covered during that stop was
oh my God.
clearly denounced.
Oh my God.
And then, as the Nelson moved into November 30th, the date Athena was delivered,
wow.
he said the camera was covered again at around 4:09 p.m.
Wait, do y'all hear this? That means he was planning to do this.
5:30 p.m.
He was on the hunt. He kept covering the camera, but I guess nobody was watching.
And what they found was that Tanner had repeatedly covered the interior camera
Wow.
with something like a sticky note or
Wow.
another object. It wasn't just a one-time thing either. He testified that the first time he saw the camera being covered was November 26th, 2022, and then it happened again on November 29th. Which was the day, by the way, that Tanner delivered a package to the Huffman home, the family that lived on the same road.
If they weren't there, he probably would have got him.
His young daughters.
He would have got him. He would have taken one of them. He wouldn't have made it anywhere if he would have killed the constable's child.
And then, as the Nelson moved into November 30th, the date Athena was leaving, he said the camera was covered again at around 4:09 p.m. just before Tanner arrived at Athena's home at about 5:30 p.m. The prosecution then asked about what happened after the camera was finally uncovered again.
Wow.
As the Nelson described footage showing Tanner at a gas station cleaning out the back of the van and later placing Athena's clothing and other items into a backpack.
What had happened to Athena's clothes as part of your Yes, sir, was. During the course of the viewing video, I observed, I believe some of it went into a bag.
Somebody got to be police, but this is crazy.
The panties and the pants into the backpack. You could, obviously the cabinet use up clothes, you see on second and put them in the backpack, which we later located the residence.
Wow.
And on November 30th, are we able?
He just threw it out.
For the entire time.
Wait, so he took the clothes, put them in a bag, and then he gets to the house. He just threw it out. Like, I think he just thought that he was good. Like, nobody. What the hell?
What had happened to his clothes as part of your review? Yes, I was. During the course of the viewing video, I observed, believe some of it went into a bag. And then I also observed the defendant placing what looks to be panties and the pants into the backpack. That was parts of the cabin used up close. You see unzipping it and putting this on the backpack, which we later located as residence.
And on Route 38, are we able to see the cabin cam for the entire time on the day of murder?
No, sir,
Why is that?
because the defendant covered it.
At some point, is it uncovered? When was that?
Yes, sir. He uncovers it at the Loves on his way back to the FedEx station.
On the day of
Wow.
Correct, yes, sir, November 30th.
are you able to see what you do?
Yes,
Wow.
and he's cleaning up the FedEx stand.
After that,
Wow.
the jury was shown more footage from the front
That's
facing camera
crazy.
inside the FedEx van in the days leading up to the disappearance. Some of it showed pretty normal driving moments, like Tanner singing or smoking while on his route. Other clips showed him interacting with customers, including the Huffman family on November 29th. And in that footage, he got out of the van and gave the package to the Huffman parents when they came outside. And in the next clip, Tanner is again seen inside the van taking a phone call. The person on the other end asks him if he had heard about an Amber Alert for a 7-year-old girl.
Oh,
The
shit.
defense objected, and Judge George Gallagher quickly called a short recess. The rest of that clip ultimately was not shown. After the break, the jury was shown
Oh.
additional footage from December 1st, 2022.
Wait,
Tanner
but
Christian.
I would like to have it seen that, right? So it says somebody he's taking a phone call and they said, "Did you hear about the Amber Alert?" Blah blah blah, and he's the one that did it. I wonder why did they object to that? I don't know.
Continuing his delivery route. In one scene, Tanner tried to drive down a road that was blocked by multiple vehicles. He repeatedly honks his horn, visibly frustrated, and tells a woman that he is stuck and still has packages to deliver. And during that interaction, the woman tells him there had been a kidnapping involving a 7-year-old kid.
Oh, shoot.
And Tanner responds, "Are you serious?" Yeah, take a listen.
Yo, he's a fucking savage. He is a straight savage.
And during that interaction, the woman tells him there had been a
Wow.
kidnapping involving a 7-year-old kid. And Tanner responds, "Are you
Wow.
serious?"
It's like my nephew. Are you serious? So this is police. I own horses and everything. Mm. Wow. Knowing he did it. Knowing he did it. How diabolical.
At that point, the tone in the courtroom shifted again as the state prepared to present the most critical and difficult evidence of the entire trial. This portion was so sensitive that we had to be filled in on the details from reporters who were inside the courtroom, since parts of it were not streamed, and thank goodness for that. Before the video was played, Judge Gallagher gave a direct warning to everyone present in the courtroom. He said, "If you think you cannot watch it or listen to it, leave now. Now is your time to get out." Athena's parents, Jacob and Maitland, were not present when this recording was played.
Okay.
According to reporters in the gallery, the video began with Tanner continuing his delivery route as normal. He is seen driving, stopping at homes, and delivering packages. When he arrived at Athena's home, the footage shows Athena walking near the truck. Tanner is seen outside the driver's side area.
This
while
is
Athena was
wow.
behind him. He opens the back of the truck. and she
Hold
stands
on,
nearby.
hold on. This is the video that everybody is talking about. Wow.
Continuing his delivery route.
This
as
is when
normal.
he
is
when he
seen driving,
kidnapped her.
stopping at homes and delivering packages. When he
Damn.
arrived at Athena's home, the footage shows Athena walking near the truck. Tanner is seen outside the driver's side area, while
Oh
Athena
man.
follows behind him. He
Damn.
opens the back of the truck and she stands nearby. After
No.
closing the passenger side door, she is still visible behind the vehicle.
Oh,
At that point,
man.
Tanner is seen lifting Athena into the truck.
Oh my
After placing her
God.
inside, he closes the door.
Oh my
And inside
God.
the truck, he appears to move her position closer to the front area. Athena is then heard speaking and asking, "Are you a kidnapper?" That's a quote. "Are you
That's the
a
picture.
kidnapper?"
This is the picture that everybody saw. Look at his eyes. Look at his eyes. You done stole this child. Oh my God.
Continuing his delivery route as normal. Is
He
seen
was
driving,
he was on
stopping
the
at homes
he
and
was
delivering
on the
packages.
prowl.
When he arrived at Athena's home, the footage shows Athena walking near the truck. Tanner is seen outside the driver's side area, while
Wow.
Athena follows behind him. He
Wow.
opens the back of the truck and she stands nearby. After
She wanted
closing
her
the passenger side
package.
door, she's still visible behind the vehicle. At that point, Tanner is seen lifting Athena into the truck. After placing her inside, he closes the door.
He put her in the back.
And inside the truck, he appears to move her position closer to the front area. Athena is then heard speaking and asking, "Are you a kidnapper?" That's a quote. "Are you
Wow.
a kidnapper?" A question she repeats multiple times during the
Wow.
recording.
Well, that's
Tanner's-
because y'all, I don't know if you know, but her last journal entry in school, they were talking about stranger danger. And she kept asking him, she kept talking to him, but it's just so sad. It's just so sad. Like, she's asking him, "Are you a kidnapper?"
telling her
Wow.
to sit down, to sit back, and warning her not to scream or he would hurt her. He
Wow.
continues driving for several minutes while she remains inside the vehicle. At one point, she asks where they are going, and Tanner responds that it doesn't matter and tells her to sit down. The camera is then covered
Wow.
by Tanner, and from that point forward,
Wow.
only audio is heard. And during the audio portion, Tanner is heard asking Athena personal questions, including her age, where she goes to school, the name of her teacher, and whether her
Wow.
teacher is nice. Athena responds to his questions and mentions she has a sister. At one point, Tanner tells her, quote, "You're really pretty. You know that?" The
Wow.
audio later indicates that the vehicle stops. Athena asks, quote, "Is this your house?" And Tanner responds, "No, I don't live around here." She asks where he lives, and he replies, "Far away." After more time passes, the vehicle stops again. Athena repeatedly asks, "What are we doing?" Tanner tells her to hang out for a minute, and she responds, "Okay." Tanner is then heard asking her to remove her shirt. Athena repeatedly says no and asks for her mom.
Wow.
What follows is a prolonged period of crying, screaming, and
Wow.
banging sounds inside the vehicle.
Wow.
As the recording continued, jurors could be seen breaking down emotionally
They said
and were
the jurors
described
were
by
crying.
reporters as sobbing.
Yeah.
The jurors were sobbing. Once the audio
Wow.
ended, Judge Gallagher immediately called for a recess. And
Wow.
after that, the camera was turned on again. There was
Wow.
originally expected to be about 30 more minutes of the most intense audio from the
Wow.
incident, but it appeared the state ultimately decided
Not to play
the
it.
rest of it for the
They
jury.
they played
Instead,
enough.
they moved on to the next segment.
They
of
had
video
to listen
evidence
to the
showing
whole thing, though.
Tanner back in the FedEx truck. In this clip, Tanner is seen pulling into a gas station shortly after the incident. The footage shows him getting out and going to the back of the delivery truck. He appears to be cleaning and rearranging the cargo area. He was also seen placing items into his backpack, including clothing that belonged to Athena. Ranger Espinoza previously testified that only Athena's pants and underwear were later recovered from Tanner's home. Her shirt still has never been found. So now it makes sense why Caitlin testified yesterday that she wants to know where her shirt is.
So this is what they show on. I guess for the family, they didn't show. It was only within the courtroom. If you're in the courtroom, then you would hear and see all of these things. But if you're not in the courtroom, they're not showing the world because it's detrimental. The whole world, all of us will be traumatized. We're already traumatized based on the evidence that has come out already. So we're already traumatized about that. And I just can't believe, I don't know, I just can't believe sometimes when I hear things like this. So now they're showing, because he didn't even, I guess nobody was monitoring him. When I worked for UPS, the drivers were being monitored and they had to be and deliver these packages and do this and do that. He just didn't deliver any more packages for the day and was just like, all right. But this is why he needs to be locked up. Whether he's done this before, I don't think he has stolen a child. I don't know. But whether he's done this before, like he was very sloppy, right? He just snatched her up, but he was on the prowl, which showed that like sociopaths, like serial killers, like once they do the deed, right? Where they satisfy that urge, but the urge continues to keep coming and keep coming and keep coming until they do it again.
After the final video was shown,
Wow.
the state officially rested its case.
Wow.
And from there, the judge adjourned court for the day and sent the jury home until Wednesday. On Friday, Monday, and Tuesday, there will be a series of hearings. And these hearings are meant to evaluate whether expert witnesses and scientific evidence meet legal standards for reliability before they can be presented to the jury. And that part matters here because the defense is expected to present a significant amount of testimony focused on Tanner's mental health, developmental history, and background, which the court will first need to vet before it can be introduced. And as the state wrapped up its case, I know a lot of people are probably asking the same question about that audio. Why was it necessary to play something that horrific in court? Those jurors, I'm sure, will never be the same again.
That's why.
The jurors saw it.
That's why
And
they
honestly,
played it.
I get why that question comes up. I didn't want to hear it either. I'm grateful it wasn't streamed. I would not have listened had it been. And from the outside, it can feel like the state already had enough evidence, right, to support a death penalty verdict.
But they needed that.
To go that far.
They needed that.
But from the prosecution's perspective,
yeah.
they only get one chance
Yeah.
to present their case.
They needed that. That was the nail in the coffin.
As final as life or death,
Yeah.
especially in a capital murder trial.
Yeah.
They likely felt they needed.
They needed that.
To fully understand
See?
Really.
They needed that.
The reality of what happened.
What she been through.
Just hear it described.
Yeah.
Especially because the defense is expected to bring in a lot of witnesses about Tanner's background, mental health, and life history. By the end of all of that, there is always the risk
they're going to try to justify.
Starts to feel more abstract after hours and hours of testimony. But the audio is
that's going to stick. That's why they played it. They didn't play the whole thing.
Something the jury is never going to be able to unhear, no matter what comes next. That being said, I am grateful that the jury did not end up having to hear every second of it. And I'm glad that Athena's family was spared from seeing the full extent of that recording. They've already carried so much through all of this, and I don't think they need to be put through that on top of everything else. At the end of the day, the evidence in this case speaks for itself. We already know what Tanner did. That part isn't really a question anymore. Tanner is a murderer. Now it's the jury's job to decide whether the level of cruelty, violence, and callousness that they have seen and heard rises to the level of death penalty.
Correct.
And after hearing that audio, it is hard to imagine the jurors are already leaning in that
Correct.
The defense will begin presenting their side. They will try to explain Tanner's background, his mental health, and what they believe shaped him into the person he is. And the question for the jury becomes whether any of that is enough to outweigh what they have already seen.
And that's the thing.
It changes the sentence from death to life in prison instead. We will be following and bringing you the very latest when it's the defense's turn to share their evidence.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Okay. All right. So, like I said, this man has already, the letter that was written, he has already tried to unalive himself. So, with that being said, I'm getting there. Right? If you see them like this, they're done. They're redone. I wish I could get in the habit of doing this more often. Just getting it done, just keep redoing it. That's how a lot of people hair grows. They keep weaves in their hair and things like that. But it's about to be hot, so I don't really want to have extensions in my hair unless I have my what is it? Hair Bella water cap. But I'm just gonna do this one and then I'm going to head out because I've been on here for 2 hours, right? It's been 2 hours, but I wanted to finish watching that. Um, he has already pled guilty, right? Tanner Horner, whatever his name is, devil that has a different face. He has already pled guilty. So with him already pleading guilty, now the defense's job, his defense attorney team, their job is to get sympathy. So I'm putting my product on the end, the Moisturize Me. But my hair has been like this for what? Has it been a month? I think it's been a month. I have to look at the date. But so now he's just trying to get sympathy. But I'm going to keep it big because I don't want to make my edges too small and then it starts pulling away. And that's what happens so many times when we go to those continental Africans and they braid our hair. Remember with the micro braids? The micro braids were the devil. But how many people have micro braids? How many of them don't have any edges? So it is this full size. That full size. Now, what I did not do last time, what, girl, you didn't even twist this to the end. What I didn't do last time was anchor it. And a young girl in college, when I was in college last time, and she braided my hair, she used the anchor method where there's a rubber band. Where is it? Uh-oh. So I put a rubber band here. So it's already twisted. It's already protected, right? It's already in a twist. It's protected. And I put a rubber band so that way it won't grow out like the other one. And I'm going to show you. I didn't expect. I was just like, okay, Shantae, this is what it is. This is what it is because you don't have time to fix it. But look at how much new growth I have. Look at how much new growth I have. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. But I needed this to last for like 6 weeks. At week 2, it was like, girl, I'm shaking. You didn't anchor me. I'm shaking. So when I anchor it, it still grows, but it doesn't grow as wild as this. So that's what I mean by using the anchor method. But she showed me how to do my hair like this. She put braids in it. She put twists in my hair one time, and she went and got her nails done. And I was like, girl, you did a hot mess job on my hair. I was really mad. But that was the time that I had to go back to New Jersey for my friend's funeral. So she did it. And I was like, all right, well, let me just put it up in a high bun. Now, I love the high buns. And I don't know. I'm really thinking about locking my hair. But if I can't find a loctician, I don't want to have to go all the way to Phoenix to get my hair done. And I know that I don't necessarily have the time to always do my hair. It would be nice if I could. Is the mic still on? Yes. It would be nice if I could find someone to just wash and twist my hair. But I don't know. It's just, the people that do Black people hair like this tend to be the continental Africans. And I have not had a good experience with in this state of them doing my hair. When I was in New Jersey, they were just like, what the hell, Shantae? Okay, you're well. You act like you don't know how to braid right now. Okay, where is it? There we go. In New Jersey, I used to get kinky twists, right? Which is kind of something like what I'm doing to my hair now, but they do it in a different way. So, they charge, I call, okay, so how much do you all charge for kinky twists? Oh, we charge this amount of money. Okay, so I come, I make my appointment. They always act like they got an attitude with you, even though they charging you an arm and a leg, and they do your hair like this for $25 in their country, right? And white people not coming to get their hair done, so they get to disrespect us on that level as well. But um, they finish my hair, and I'm like, okay. So she charges me X amount of dollars more than I was like, no, no, no. I called and y'all said, oh well, you have a lot of hair and your hair is thick. I said, that is not my fault. So you're charging me more because people come here and they I said bald headed. That's what I said, right? And I was like, that's not fair. You can't charge me one price, but this is what they do. This is what continental Africans do. Not all of them, but I challenge anyone that has been to a continental African to get their hair braided and tell me that you had a different experience. Mm. It's amazing to me how some people could come to our country and just think that they can do and treat us. And I'm just like, no, 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 no. It shouldn't be like that no more at all. Okay, so you see, Amber Nicole, you see. Oh, because it was hearsay. Okay. Thank you for that, Judy. These comments don't automatically pop up. Thank you for that. That's why they didn't play it, because it was hearsay. Okay. But yeah, see, this is the experience that we all have. So, I've just learned that I just do my hair myself. Look at this. I just do my hair myself. It takes me time. I put braids in my hair. It took me 16 hours. I think I stayed up and I just do it over the weekend, right? I start on Friday, I'm done by Sunday, whatever, whatever. It take me 16 hours. I don't like my hair in braids. So the braids is not, that just takes too much time. I did it once. I was like, I'm not doing that again. Stayed up all night finishing my hair. And then my friend at that time was like, oh, I want you to go to, I don't know, it was a wedding, quinceañera. I think it was a wedding. It was a Mexican wedding. We get there. They have meat, they have beans, they have rice, right? So I'm like, well, I don't eat meat. So I'll take rice and beans. Yo, the girl I was with, she was like, oh, we can eat here and then go eat somewhere else. Go rest her, God rest her soul. But I was like, I'm hungry now. I said, now you know that I stayed up all night to do my hair and I didn't eat. I decided, okay, you asked me to go with you. You didn't want to just go with your son. And I went with you and I need some food. And she's like, now what's crazy is her son, he was a big boy, but she used to be like 400 pounds and she was just losing the weight naturally herself. Her mother, her mother was wrong. Her mother was dead wrong. Her mother married some dude. Oh, my finger still hurt. Her mother married some dude and he adopted the two younger daughters and made sure, because they were all illegal, and made sure that they got a citizenship. But Angelica, he didn't do that. The mother didn't do it. So the mother really treated Angelica bad. And when she died, she got these pictures up. Oh, me and my daughter. I was like, yeah, because when people die, no one is there to say, no, she was actually, you know, you weren't there, ma'am. Nobody's gonna say that to her, right? Because she is um the mother of someone that passed away, but she did not treat Angelica right. So they gave the little boy, they gave him more food than they gave me. And I was like, well, all I want was rice and beans, right? So they give me this little baby ass plate. I said, I ate it because I was hungry, right? Probably shouldn't have because it probably had lard in it and pork in the beans. But I ate it. Um, I'm the one that bought the card. I put $20 in there. I gave it to Angelica and I said, all right, I'm gonna go. She was like, but I picked you up. I said, it's okay. I'm in my state, in my city. Um, I can call a Lyft, and that's what I did. I called a Lyft and I left because I'm like, I don't understand why people do such messed up things and then act like you're wrong. I'm like, now your big ass, God rest her soul. If I would have done that to you, you would have been mad. But I guess they're like, oh well, we could now. I'm hungry, right? No matter how slim I am, I'm still freaking hungry. Okay, I still skinny people get hungry too. So I'm sitting there watching her eat, and oh, after we leave here, we can go and get something to eat. So I'm supposed to sit here and watch y'all eat, and then I didn't understand that one, but I sure did. I left them. They was like, "Oh, what happened to your friend?" She was like, "They were asking about you." I said, "Well, they should have gave me some real food. Don't be asking about me, and you want to give me a baby ass plate." Like, oh, she's skinny. She don't eat a lot. I want some food too. But I won't braid my hair again. I will do it like this and twist, but I won't braid my hair again like that. It's just too much. Then it takes forever to take them out. For my twist, you see how easy it is for me to take a twist out? Yeah, I don't have time for the other. But I have to do all of this. I have to do at least, let me see. Was that my scrunchie? Yes. I have to do at least these and do it around the back. So that way when I put them up, um, they won't look a hot mess. But they have to, I was like, oh, maybe I could just put maybe I could just put a band around here and just put a band, a scarf, or something and record. That wasn't working. That was not working. It was like, girl, you have too much new growth. You have to twist these and just redo the front. And once the front grows out, then go ahead and take it out. Henna it again because I did buy some more henna today, and start all over again. But yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna finish this. Oh, I gotta do this one too. Because they all look raggedy, right? They all look very raggedy. Because they had too much new growth. They all have look very raggedy. Thank you, God, for hair growth. I appreciate you for that. So you see? Okay. So okay. All right. Now where's the hair? Now you see? What am I doing? Now how easy was that? I just pulled it out. How easy was that, right? Very, very, very easy. And this is why I do my hair like this because it's so easy to take them out, re-moisturize it, and then retwist it. But thank you so much for hanging out with me and watching this diabolical dude. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what he's going to present. The defense attorneys is going to present, but this is very interesting to watch as far as like him pleading guilty and then them going through this. I have never seen this before. I saw someone, my friend's son, he wanted to be out there in the world and he shot someone and had to do 10 years. And, we like, wow, 10 years, that's a lot. Um, but the family is like, 10 years is not enough. But he pled guilty, right? So he pled guilty. He didn't take it to trial. I was studying to go to college, right? All I do is freaking go to college. But I was studying to go to college at that time. She had just had a baby, and she was like older, but she just had a baby. Her dude beat her up in the hospital. I was there. This is why I said I'm gonna write a book of short stories. Y'all gonna be like, that's what y'all gonna be saying about everything when you read the short story book, because this is just absolutely insane. But I was there when he pled guilty. Now, I'm sitting there. I got my little printout because I know we're gonna be there. So I'm sitting there. I'm doing homework, and well, not doing homework, but I'm doing algebra, doing math for the placement test. And I'm listening. It got so good that I was like, close these books. Oh, head is up. Let me listen. But he pled guilty. And then it was just the sentencing phase. And then, the family come and they say what they have to say. And it was just stupid nonsense, stupid gang nonsense. But what did this woman do for her son? She spoiled him. Why? Because he was handsome? She spoiled him. And she always still bought him name brand stuff, even though this boy ain't go to school. He was disrespectful, a hot ass mess. She came there to support him. That way he could see his little sister. But he consciously made a decision. She spoiled him. The grandmother spoiled him. The grandmother really spoiled him and wouldn't really let the mom be a mom. It was a mess. It was just a mess. Just an effing mess. Just a mess. But there wasn't this where they're still talking about evidence, but that also wasn't Texas. It was New Jersey, right? So I don't know. Oh, dang, Shantae, you getting, at least it's only like water. It does have some oil in it. I'm getting on my suede couch. The hell? I'm supposed to have my little t-shirt over here on me. But I love my Felicia Leatherwood detangling brush that she don't even make no more. Not these. Not this one. Every time I go to a hair salon, they be trying to steal it. I'm like, where's my brush? They was like, oh, I like this brush. Especially every time I go to Africa. I like this brush. Well, I like my brush too. Give it here so I can put it in my damn bag. My lawyer said, my former attorney, oh, I like the jumper cable set. It's better than mine. Okay, you want it, then pay me for it. What the hell makes you think I just got to give you my stuff because you like it? People are something else. People are something else. Oh, I wonder if I should make this 2. Yeah, if I make it 2, then maybe I got to do less ones. Yeah, I'll make it 2. I don't care if the parts are not straight. Who gives a damn? Who gonna be in my hair like, girl, your parts ain't straight? I'm like, well, make them straight. Now, I am using different things on my hair. I'm like the church. I said I was leaving, right? Okay. But I'm using, so in certain spots that I feel like is not thick, not so much this one, because this part of my hair, the back of my hair is the fullest. Once I started letting them continental Africans mess with my hair, I have to nurse this back to health. You'll see the video. But I'm using Strands of Faith, right? This was free. All I had to do was pay for shipping. I love that she has these travel sizes. And she was trying to be an ambassador for the Main Choice and ended up making her own business. Shout out to you. But what's funny is she's married to a doctor. So is Courtney Adeleye. They both married to doctors, which is crazy. But I think Courtney Adeleye, her husband is Nigerian. She said Mandinka. I'm like, no disrespect to the good Mandinkas, but the Mandinkas I met, Jesus Christ, in the Gambia. I'm just gonna say this: my former attorney is a Mandinka, and y'all already know what he done to me. So I don't know, but okay. So I separated this. So I have that. Then I have the old main choice. Right. This is how long I've been a customer of hers. This is the softening milk. So now, is it past 12 months? Yes, it's been past 12 months since I've had this, but I still use it. Okay, so this, maybe I shouldn't make this two. These are, I'm just gonna make it one. And then I put my Moisturize Me on the ends, because your ends of your hair are the oldest part of your hair. And you need to moisturize them because that's where your split ends begin, on the ends. So if it's nice and moisturized hair grows. Dry hair breaks off. So I know some people that come here, they're like, well, what the hell is her channel about? Like, I see her cooking, I see her talking about true crime. Now she's sitting on her couch doing hair, talking about some Saturdays be like. She working out. It's a lifestyle channel. And sooner or later, okay, all right, there we go. All right, I need to trim that. Sooner or later, I will record a video for in the beginning, right? When you come to the page, it's a lifestyle channel. So you may see quite a bit of things. Do I have another rubber band? Yes. May see me organize my house, organize my shed. This is just my life. This is my life. This is not, I'm not out there in the streets partying. I got a house to take care of. I'm trying to take care of my mind, body, and spirit. I'm trying to elevate, trying to move on to the next level. So this is my life. And it may be boring at times, but for people that handle their business, sometimes our lives may be boring, right? I don't run a Fortune 500 company, but sometimes our lives, if you making your money, you taking care of your house, you trying to go to the gym, you trying to eat right, you trying to travel, you just living your life, right? Some people, oh, that's boring. You ain't in the mix. Nope. Nope. I try to stay out the mix and stay out of trouble. Now, sometimes being in these YouTube streets, even though you out the mix, people be hating on you, but you have no control over that. You just keep doing what you're doing. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. That was the hair. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. Keep cooking, keep working out, try to do some private exercise classes for my membership, since I already have music and choreography. They'll have first dibs for the water classes once it really gets hot. And once I can also find time. Because in my mind, I'll be like, I'm doing all these things. And my schedule will be like, when, girl? When you're sleeping? Oh, okay. You don't need to sleep. You always say you're going to sleep when you can sleep when you're dead. So, oh, isn't she lovely? So after I do this, I'm going to say bye-bye after I finish doing this last twist. And I may not finish my hair tonight. So I braid a little bit of it and then I twist the end just to make sure it's anchored and stayed. I do not untwist. I used to just do this rubber band method with my hair, like it being like this, but I felt like it was too harsh on my hair, and sometimes my hair would get stuck around the hair. So I just decided to just put it in twist, just twist the hair and then twist the Marley hair around the hair. Now, there's a black girl here that I met in Zumba, and her girlfriend, her wife, that's her wife has, like, they invited me to the house one Christmas, but I don't celebrate holidays, and I didn't go. And I went to go see her when she was on, not Broadway, but she was doing uh, theater work. Now I didn't go with the Zumba people because them Zumba bees are foul as F. Okay, they are messy, and I can't relate. I don't need an old man, an old white man, because I need a green card. I can't relate. So, and then they're too messy for me. I'm like, girl, I'll beat them, punch you in your damn face. So I just, I went on my own. I went on my own. I wore my African attire. I had a great time. I enjoyed myself. And because I don't know, it was me by myself. I guess I was dressed right. They put me right in the front, right? So, but I didn't know that she had, because her wife has locks. Her wife's hair is in locks. But I didn't know that the one that I go to Zumba with, I never knew that she had dreads. I never knew she had locks. So one day I walk in and I'm like, I know that's her because I know the way she danced in front and back. We dance together all the time. And I was like, I tapped her. I gave her a hug. Um, and I didn't know. I was like, you have locks? She was like, yeah, but she used to wear wigs. I'm like, girl, take that damn wig off and show your, I don't know. Black people out here, like I said, they're different. They're just different. I don't know. I'm from the East Coast. I'm like, this is my hair. But she was doing real estate. So bug. I don't have my kitchen window open because y'all know it has a hole in it. I don't know what the hell, who put the hole in it, but I sure did put in a service request for them to come and change that. But evidently, I don't know if it's a hole in the what's the name, because that's the only window that's open. And there's a little gnat that wants to fly around here. And if he comes into my face too closely and my hands is not in my hair, he's going to lose his life. Okay. And he can tell his damn friends, stay out of that household because she crazy. Tell you effing friends about me, bub. I'm a city girl. I don't understand. But yeah. But so seeing how there are plenty of people that, okay, so this is not fully untwisted. There are plenty of people that have locks and they put braids and whatever, they put twists and stuff to cover their locks. They wear wigs, and she sells homes. She does a couple of things, but she has her real estate license. And she's like, somebody that lives in Nevada told me, like, oh yeah, because you can't be if you are if you are a realtor, you can't wear your natural hair. You got to wear wigs. And I'm like, what? Well, I guess then I'll never be a goddamn realtor because and they wouldn't be able to tell me no ish like that. Then I guess I wouldn't sell a house. I don't know, because I'm not going to alter my looks for you. Why should I have to do that? When half the time y'all, the last open house that I went to, it wasn't his viewing. He did it for a friend. That last Saturday, the last one I went to, that said the house had potential. You could tell he'd been doing this for a while. He still took pride in what he was doing. He wasn't, sometimes the way I see some of these people dress, I'm like, wait, do they know that they were going out to sell a house? Or, I mean, they just be plain Jane around this mofo, right? Man, oh, that's too much. If I had my real estate license, a certain group of people love me. I don't know why, but they love me, right? And shoot, I would have on my African attire, right? I feel like instead of just fitting in, why don't I just stand out? Isn't that what sales is about? Because if we're all the same, I don't know. That's how I look at it. I could be wrong. Oh, I forgot to put the oil in. I could be wrong. I have some, I think this is Camille Rose. I tried it. I do like it though. It's the Rosemary Strengthening Hair and Scalp. This thing is almost done. It's like right here. I have killed this thing, but I like it. So soon I have to buy another one. They have one that's called Bask and Lather. I keep seeing promotions about that and ads. I was like, maybe I should try that. But the crazy thing is what I see is the people that are showing it, they do not have the same hair texture as me. They have more the silky smoothie 4A, 4B. I have some 4B in my hair, but most of my hair is 4C. You hear me? It's the African Bambara over here. Did I say it right? Yeah. It is no, oh, well, she got 3A hair, like she's biracial. That's not the hair I have. So I also know that with the type of texture of hair that I have, I can't use what everyone else uses. If I put, who is that? Lord, I use Miss Jessie. Was it Miss Jessie? It was one that's a water base. Ooh, messed my hair up. It dried my hair out. Who is it? Oh, Shea Moisture, right? A lot of people were swearing by Shea Moisture. They saw mahogany curls. They thought they were going to have hair like her. We don't have hair like her. I don't have hair like her. So no matter what hair product I use, I was never getting the same results no matter how I did my hair. And that is one of the things that the Strands of Faith and Courtney Adeleye. Now, Courtney Adeleye has some 4A here, right? Her ponytails be laying down slick. My hair is not like that. So, but she does have, like some people have a perfect curl pattern. My curl pattern is more, it's like a Z, right? It's just, it's I don't have that perfect curl pattern like some people. So me understanding my own texture of hair also helps me to know which products that I can use that will be more beneficial to my hair. My hair likes thick, creamy products, hence my moisturizing. It works great on my hair. I use it with other people's conditioner and my twist outs be popping. Now, if I knew how to, like I don't like my hair down. Sometimes, Most of the time I like my hair up, but I also know I don't want to keep pulling my hair up and pull my edges and ponytail, and it starts thinning you out and stuff like that. So I have to be able to find hairstyles that are symmetrical with my face, right? Because that's what people, this is what, when you used to go to the hair salons, this is what people used to do. They used to give you a hair consultation. Now you go to the salon, you have a picture, you have your weave. This is what I saw when I used to go and just get my hair just a wash and blow out, and and I shouldn't have been doing that because I was working out all the time. So I really should just been. He had dreads. The way our people do us is just so wrong. He was like, "Oh, you should just get a perm." Now I'm coming to you because I have natural hair, and you're gonna tell me, Rodney boy, Rodney had the sweetest voice, and Rodney was sweeter than candy. He was sweeter than chocolate. But I didn't understand, like, you are part owner of this salon and you're telling me that I should just put a perm in my hair. One of the other girls was like, you should just get a weave. And I'm looking at her like, why? So I could be sitting here like everybody else while you go and chase your baby daddy? And I'm in the salon for 5 hours when I'm just, get the out of my face. But there was a girl that lived in Jersey and moved from Jersey to the Carolinas, and she used to come up there and get her hair done. And when I saw her, I was like, hey girl, how you doing? Da, 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 da. Her hair. Now she had the silky smoothie, but all she knew was weaves. Did I get it? No, I don't think I got it. All she knew was weaves. Not wigs, weaves. And when I saw her hair, we in the salon. That's what I don't get. Her hair, short, long hair, short hair, just so uneven. But she got this weave, and then I see her on Facebook, and she with somebody else's hair. But your natural hair looks like shit. Good night, Judy. I'm so sorry. I didn't even see that. Love you too, young lady. Hey, Eliza, I had a perm many years ago. I cut all my hair off. Go natural. Best decision I ever made. It is. But I couldn't, I just, these salon, these people that own these salons or these cosmetologists, how can you actually be a cosmetologist if you are, what in the hell? Okay, here we go. I'm pulling the wrong side. If you're only worrying about the extensions that you are putting in someone's hair, so you don't care about the person's natural hair. When I saw her hair, I was like, but her own beautician, LaDonna, how? But I don't know. I feel like some of these people, they're cosmetologists, they're licensed cosmetologists, but they don't do consultations. If someone comes there and just say, I want my hair like this, they're gonna do it how you want it, even though it's not good for your type of hair. They don't care. They're just gonna do, and this is why when I understand how these cosmetologists are, I'm like, I'm going to do my own hair myself. And if you're a cosmetologist and I see your hair and your hair looks like sugar honey iced tea, why in the hell would I let you touch my mane? Why would I let you touch my hair if your hair look like crap? You have no edges, right? You get mad when I talk about natural hair, even though you make natural hair products, but I know that you don't have no hair over here, no matter how much you put in a protective style. but they think I'm stupid. I just don't say a lot of things. Why do I need to argue with you about how I know how to do my own hair? Right? I don't have to argue with you about that. But I know you ain't got no hair. I ain't ever seen your hair, even though you make hair products. Your daughter got hair and stopped using your products, and she was using can too. And I'm like, girl, why are you using somebody else's products when your mom make products? I guess the girl just probably tired of the mother always talking shit. I don't know. I don't know. I'm realizing some of these people are crazy. All right, guys. So this is where we are so far. I've gotten this section done. This goes up here, but this is what needs to be done because this is Hot Mess Nation. Look at this. This is Hot Mess Nation, but at least these are fresh. These are fresh. I put one little color like this in the back. And I'm not taking it out. I put one here and I didn't like the way it looked. I'm not taking it out. I'm just gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna have one brown one. So when I put it up, they'd be like, well, what is that? She just got one brown piece. And I am gonna show you. Nope, I'm not gonna show you because I don't know where they are. But the way I'm going to twist these, I'm going to try to, like I said before, reenact the other hairstyle, but I just did them like this and I stuck them in water. I'm going to use some flexi rods for them to have that Shirley Temple curl, and I might put them up and just have them hanging and maybe I do have some hair jewelry. And then I'm going to shoot the video. If I have an opportunity to make $3,000 from this video, I'm going to try it. But I'm really pushing it because it's August. No, it's due April 30th. It's all good. This was the main thing. Once my hair is done, I'm like, okay, your hair is done. Okay, so now you could do this. Now you could do that. Now you can, reenact and do what you're going to do for creating the content. But if my hair is not right, I'm like, now if the back is not fully done, I'm not going to be turning around for them to see the back of my hair. So I'm not going to worry about it. As long as this part is done, it's only what can be seen for me to get this done by April 30th and get in the competition to see if I can win this $3,000. We trying to elevate over here, right? We do not have time for low life stalkers. We trying to elevate over here. We do not have time for low life scammers. We do not have time for low life backbiters who are 30 years our senior. We don't have time for that. I know I don't. So I will see you all. I don't know when I'm going to see you. I'll see you when I see you. No. Peace. I love